Tropical Cyclone Megan did make its coastal crossing and moved on to land yesterday afternoon, about 3:30 in the afternoon Northern Territory time, along that southwest Gulf of Carpentaria coast as a severe Category 3 tropical cyclone. Now, it's estimated that the peak winds with a storm of that size and intensity likely to be around 200 kilometres an hour. The strongest wind gusts we saw on our instruments up in that part of the country were about 170 kilometres an hour. So still very damaging, but it's only a sparse network of weather reading sites in that fairly remote part of Australia. Then overnight last night, we have seen Megan move southwestwards through the Carpentaria district, bringing really heavy rain, over 500 millimetres in the last couple of days to Centre Island near the coast, about 350 millimetres over the last couple of days to Borroloola in that part of Australia, now starting to move southwestwards towards parts of the Barkly district. It is weakening a little bit. It's now a Category 1 tropical cyclone, and the forecast is for it to lose its tropical cyclone status later on today, perhaps sometime this afternoon, and become a tropical low. But what that really means is that the wind speed may be easing, but we're still expecting a lot more rain to fall across parts of the Northern Territory in the next couple of days, and we could see further flash flooding and riverine flooding. We've already started to see those rivers rise up through the minor flood level at Borroloola. I believe floodwaters up to bridge level there as the river levels continue to go up.
We really sort of got the best version of this weather system so big it sort of threaded the needle, missing all of the major centres, which is relatively good news. What are the warnings we've got current at the moment as it continues to move inland?
Yeah, so we're still, because it's still a tropical cyclone, there is still a tropical cyclone warning for parts of northeastern Northern Territory. Now that goes all the way from the Queensland border up towards about Bing Bong along the coastline, looking for further damaging wind gusts and heavy rain in that area. There's a broader severe weather warning which is going to be in place once this loses its tropical cyclone characteristics. So that's a little bit later on today, and we're mostly worried about further persistent heavy rainfall leading to potential flooding, and that does cover a pretty broad part of the northern Gregory and parts of the Carpentaria of the Northern Territory there. But as you say, we have so far avoided those larger population centres, but there are still some remote communities that are likely to be majorly affected over the next few days, particularly by heavy rainfall and potentially isolation.
Yeah, Angus, what does happen over the next few days? Where's this system headed next?
So over the next few days, in fact for the rest of the working week, there's pretty good confidence in the forecast that we're going to see a slow westward movement of this, what will then be ex-tropical cyclone Megan. So it's going to move westward through about the centre of the Northern Territory, bringing further widespread rain to the Gregory, the Barkly and even the Tanami area over the next 3 or 4 days. Now once we get out towards about Friday or Saturday, we lose a little bit of confidence in the forecast because there's a couple of scenarios that are possible at that point. We could see some rain get into far northeastern parts of Western Australia, but we could also see some of that rain start to spread southwards, potentially into parts of South Australia and New South Wales. So there's a bit of a range of scenarios for the weekend, but in the shorter term, it is the centre of the Northern Territory that is going to be inundated with persistent heavy rain for the next few days.
Wow, okay, so we're going to be talking about the remnants of Megan for quite some time. Just quickly, it's not the only thing we're watching, right? Talk to me about fire danger and this front that we've got coming through the southeast.
That's right, yeah, completely different story at the other end of the country. It's a cold front, and it's probably the most wintry cold front that we've seen for quite some time, lining up to cross southeastern Australia, and it's going to follow the usual pattern, which means before that cold front arrives, we get some warm, gusty northerly winds, and that's on the cards for today. That's going to mean a lot of the temperatures in the southeast of the country today into the low 30s. Blustery and northerlies are going to raise those fire dangers, but we're not looking to repeat those really dangerous fire danger days from a few weeks and months ago. And then we see this cold change cross over Victoria, Tasmania, parts of New South Wales over about the next 48 hours and really plunge those temperatures down. Lots of places dropping into the teens as we go through the second half of this week, and could even see, well, the first significant dusting of snow across elevated parts of Tasmania, with the snow level forecast to go to about 800 metres tomorrow in Tasmania. And if that's not a sign that we're heading towards winter, I don't know what is.